This video will teach you in simple, easy steps how to make a Rick Ross bobblehead. Search your soul. You know deep down your life will be incomplete if you do not have a Rick Ross bobblehead framed on your wall at home. I don't want your life to be incomplete. So I broke this process down into simple, easy steps. All you have to do is follow my steps, and you're going to surprise yourself. Let's begin. Step 1. Draw the rectangle and the trapezoid that you see. Notice that the rectangle has an outline. Both shapes are tilted towards the right. Step 2. Make the two sides of the triangular shape. This is going to be the inside frames of his glasses. Step 3. Add the lines for the top of the frame of his glasses. For the most part, both sides are symmetrical. Step 4. Complete the frames for his glasses. Step 5. Add the shapes that you see inside the frames of his glasses. Step 6. Add the shading that you see. Step 7. Now it's time to add the nose. Notice that the right side is connected to the frames of the glasses. The nostrils are long ovals connected by an upside-down rainbow shape. And the edges of the nose are like parentheses. Step 8. Add the upside-down trapezoid shape for the inside of the mouth. Step 9. Make the upside-down rainbow shape for the bottom lip. Step 10. Add the line that looks like a flattened M shape for the top lip. Step 11. Add the mustache. Notice that it's not perfectly symmetrical. Step 12. Add the line for the side of the face and the beard line. This line forms a triangle. Step 13. Add the line that goes around Rick Ross's lips. Notice that there's less space on the right side and more space on the left. Step 14 is a tricky step. You're going to complete the beard shape. Notice that there's much more space on the left side than on the right. A key point to completing this step successfully is the top of the beard. Notice that the top point goes halfway up the glasses. Step 15. Fill in the beard. If you mess this step up, Rick Ross is going to be pissed. Step 16. Rick Ross is a musician, so I suppose we should give him some ears. Notice that his ears start slightly below the top of the eyeglasses shape and go to the bottom of the nose shape. Step 17. Complete the shape for the glasses. Step 18. Make a rainbow shape to complete the top of Rick Ross's head. Now it's time to do some shading. I hope that you didn't have trouble with the first 18 steps. I'm going to try to be really descriptive with this as well. First thing, he has a very, very short haircut. I'm just going to put some squiggly lines in to indicate that. I also erased the line around the top of his head because it's not uniform. Whenever we shade, we're just trying to concentrate on the edges and edge quality. That's really big with that. And, you know, basically if you look around you at anything, you're not going to see outlines on anything. You're going to see planes, and you're going to see, different tones based on how the light is hitting it. And the edges of those planes become very, very different. So I'm making sure that the edge around the hair is not, is not one uniform shape, if that makes sense to you. In terms of darkest tones, I'm going to go back to the beard repeatedly. I'm going to go back to the glasses. And I use a few different pencils on this. You'll do fine if you use just a number 2 pencil, an HB pencil, but I really want the nostrils, the beard, and the glasses to be the darkest things in the image. That's a graphite stick that I was using, that big tool, and that gets really dark. That's actually a 9B, so I'm going in with that. And that's a blending stump that I'm using to kind of push things around. It's really handy for moving graphite around. Charcoal is a lot easier to move around, but you can use a blending stump with pencil. So the beard is very high maintenance. I wanted it to have some texture. You know, the images on the computer, it's not the same as seeing it in real life, but I tried to kind of get, I try to get it dark, but I also wanted to have texture so you can see the individual hairs. Blending stump helps me with that, but basically you want to try to put in individual hairs again and again and again, and it will slowly build up. The line on the edge of the beard, you want it to be not solid. You want it to go like up and down a little bit, so there's a few loose hairs. It's very, you know, trimmed. He's got a very trimmed beard, but it's also grown out, if that makes sense. So it's uniform, but still, you don't want it to seem like painted on. You want a few of those hairs to escape. For the shading on the face, just follow my template that you see over to the left. And, you know, we don't want to go overboard. We want, I mean, what really stands out is just like his necklace. He's got such a iconic face. You know, he's definitely somebody who's memorable looking. So you really want the beard to stand out, you want the glasses to stand out, and the nostrils. That's it. You could go light on the shading of everything else, and people will know that it's Rick Ross. So, you know, don't go overboard, you know, trying to shade the face. It gets a little bit darker towards the sides, but don't go overboard. They will know immediately that it's Rick Ross. If you notice down below, I actually drew the body, and I really didn't like the body from that image. I mean, he's so iconic. I wanted to make it a bobblehead, and you'll see what I do for this. I basically cut out the head, but that's in a few moments. So I'm doing more shading there. That method's called cross-hatching. I'm using a paintbrush also. If you don't have that, just use a Q-tip, and that will do essentially the same thing. But I'm trying to create a contrast and smooth tones on the face. But again, the big thing is the contrast. I know I'm repeating myself again. The eyeglasses, the nostrils, the beard. Focus on that. To create some highlights, like I put the face in highlight, like I'm doing right now, I'm using an eraser to pull some of that out. You know, drawing's a process where you add a little, you take a little bit away. And, you know, you might come in with the plan, but you deviate from it a little bit. For instance, like I said, I was going to draw his body on, but I was like, no, this guy needs a bobblehead. Some people just need bobbleheads. He is one human being who needs a bobblehead. Just saying. So if I was going to summarize what I want you to do, I want you to round the head with the shading, but create contrast with, you know, the tones, building tones on the glasses, the nostrils, and the beard. Slight highlights I am carving out with the eraser. Don't worry about the neck. Pretty soon that's going to have a drastic change. We're going to say off with his head. And I'm going to actually cut that off, put it on a new piece of paper. You'll see. Using the eraser to create those highlights. Again, I want the frame of the glasses to create part of that contrast. He's got eyebrows buried behind there that I just indicated at on top of the frames. I was doing the tattooing. You can actually skip the, well, if you want to draw this, you can just like put squiggles in, kind of like what I'm doing. But really, I should have edited this out. I'm leaving it for some of you who want to do this. His tattoos don't even say that, but I'm just putting in shapes. And then I was like, no, bobblehead. It's got to be bobblehead. Yeah, this part will be over in a moment. And we'll go on with the bobbleheading. But tattoos, that's what I did. I cut out the neck, and then I was like, you know what? I don't like that. Drawing's a just state of deviation. You alter it constantly until you get what you want, and there's always a way to change things. So I cut out the head, and what I'm going to do, I have a very basic body. You're going to see me put in that body. I took some glue and basically glued it down to another piece of paper. Glued it too low. This was a bigger piece of paper. I'm actually going to have to cut it again, but that's okay. So from here, glued it down, and I'm just going to draw in a very, very basic body. I found a picture that I liked on the internet, and very simple shirt, very simple body. I put it in, and I tried to match the shading of what's going on with the face. So I needed the dark tones. I needed the lighter tones for the lighter gray. And I kind of used the rule that the height of the head was going to be the height of the upper body. So from the shoulders to the belt line, that's what I used. They're very basic shapes. I didn't do this step by step because they are so basic. But again, you want to copy the height. So the height belt to shoulder line, you want it to be the same. It's kind of a trapezoid on top with two triangles for the collar. Line going through, and really two rectangles underneath that trapezoid. The shape for the hands, I made them like mittens, so very simple. Took me a few seconds to draw it and a little while to shade it. But as you can see, that looks a lot better. I decided to make the outlines match the tones of the beard. So it took a while to build that up, but I just outlined it actually with a pen and a marker. For the pants, I'm using a marker just because all that hatching is really, time consuming. So to save time, I used a Prismacolor gray number 4, and then I'm going to hatch on top of that. And, this way, if I miss a little bit on some of the hatching, still looks pretty good. Whenever you do something like this, the key is to get the face. That's where the likeness is, and you want it to resemble the body. He might have been even a little bit bigger than that, but I was focusing on icons, and you'll see what I do for the necklace. But as for right now, I am outlining the hands, keeping it very simple. There's shading as the hand goes down. I'm trying to curve it, make it seem three-dimensional. Little indications of that. And we are almost done. Same thing on the other hand. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it out. I'm going to draw in some shoes. And then I'm going to put in the finishing touches. I actually printed out his necklace and I glued it down. So you could say that this piece is really a collage, and that's fine. There's drawing, and why not supplement it with something else? So that's always my philosophy. Take the simplest route and compromise a little bit with your vision of something, but always keep pushing until you get a product that you're very happy with. And I was kind of happy with this. So I hope that this helped you. If you like this video, I've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds more. So hope you take a second to subscribe, and yeah, thank you for watching.